Hi, everybody. This is Ernesto, licensed marriage and family therapist. And I've got my friend here, John Clarke. John, what's up?
What's up, guys?
You just come back. Got back from Paris.
I
I
did.
see. So, what was that like?
It was it was nice. I hadn't been there since 2012, 13 maybe. It was cool. I went there in the winter the first time, and then this time was obviously the summer, so very different experience. Um, and I actually ended up talking a lot in my recent podcast episodes about my observations of French people and of French culture. Some stereotypes proven very true, some not so true.
Yeah, I
And
saw a
yeah,
few. I saw some of your videos on that trip.
that too. Yeah, and then a lot of my observations are usually about beverages, both it's really basically either coffee or beer. That's what a lot of my and focus is around, in life.
Yeah, it got me a little inspired to really venture out and see these European countries. So thank you for that. You did a
Yeah,
good job on your branding
I
message.
tried. I tried to Instagram pretty much the whole trip,
Yeah,
even though it's
that's how
yeah,
it's supposed to be, right?
yeah, exactly.
So for those of you who are watching, John is not only a sponsor for the 2019 Kauai Retreat for therapists, but he is also going to be presenting. One of the reasons why I reached out to him to present is because he is crushing the digital marketing world, and a lot of clinicians really don't understand what it takes to get to that. So one of the things that I'm learning right now, John, is the idea that you can point everyone and anyone into your website, right? But you said something that's very, very interesting. Now what? Now that they're
Right.
there, if your message is not on point, you're not
Mhm.
going to convert. Talk more about this.
I think as an industry, we're starting to pick up on this a lot more as therapists. Therapists are kind of waking up to the reality that simply getting more people to your site is not enough.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of therapists, they create a website, and the first thing they think is, I've got to do my SEO, whatever that means, or I've got to get my SEO done,
Right, right.
which is true. At some point, you need to put gas in the car, right? And there's a few ways to do that. But in what we learned we've worked with hundreds of therapists. So my team at Unconditional Media we've worked with hundreds of therapists. I've looked at hundreds of therapist websites. And what we realize is we can hand deliver all sorts of people right to your front doorstep, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to come inside, right? So they're standing there on your front doorstep, but it doesn't mean they're going to come inside or that they're going to make themselves comfortable. In other words, become a paying client. So I'm through seeing that and seeing how much therapists struggle to get the words right, that led me on this path of creating my own framework for copywriting, of studying all the copywriting resources and books and frameworks that are currently out there, just across industries and in business, trying to synthesize all of those, trying to create a framework that's easy, and that works for therapists in particular.
Yeah.
And then offering that and helping therapists get the words right first, so that when we send more people to your website, we know that people are actually going to take action.
Yeah. And what's unique about you is that you are within our world. You are a
Mhm.
therapist. You've been
Yeah.
there. You're looking at our language. You're saying things, well, that's a little clinical. Who knows what is EMDR? Let's put
Mhm.
some language in there. So what's unique about your program and unconditional media is that you understand it from a clinical perspective.
Mhm.
And I want you to talk a little bit more about how powerful a brand message is
Yeah.
to the website.
Yeah. You, the way that I look at it is the same way that when you're writing papers in graduate school, which is the kind of writing that a lot of us know once we are in business and have to do a very different kind of writing. Copywriting is an entirely different ballgame. But in any sort of paper, when you're trying to basically create an argument, you need a thesis.
Mhm.
It's a core thesis, which is basically a point that you're trying to prove. It's a core thread that you can start with, expand upon, and kind of come back to and tie everything together. Therapists need that for their message as well. For a lot of therapists, it's that core thesis might be your tagline, might be a really compelling tagline, that is just the start of that thread. And again, the start of a lot of amazing copy that can come that can come from that tagline. But there's got to be some sort of unifying thread in your copy. And for a lot of folks, a tagline is a great place to start.
A chaotic website will not only turn off a visitor, but also frustrates them.
Mm-hmm.
And when you frustrate a visitor, I mean, they will turn on you. And so I think that's a very powerful approach to understanding how a tagline starts that conversation, right? Starts to put things into perspective for the person and kind of eases them. How important is it with the psychology of someone visiting your website?
Well, so therapists also get tagline and mission statement confused a lot. So if I am working with a therapist and I say, okay, so let's look at your tagline, and they go, my tagline is I do individual, couple, family, and teen work with people with mental health issues and anxiety and depression in the San Francisco Bay Area. Okay, that's not a tagline. It's not even really a mission statement. It's more just an explanation of what you do or what your service is or the features of your service. And so we have to kind of backpedal from there. I say that a good tagline either intrigues, inspires, or excites people. It's just a little something that encourages the person to read on, right? So I think always erring on the side of a punchy and very a brief tagline that encourages people to read on, or just kind of intrigues. You go, that's interesting. I want to learn more about what this is. And from there, then you start to explain, what this business is all about.
And, to your point, I do also think that a powerful tagline elicits a response of the value of the individual. Let me give an example about this. I'm all about a human brand. And when I saw your tagline, I was like, holy crap, that is it. It sparked a value in me that I could not voice, but your words really resonated. So instead of trying to be someone who you're not, I think your tagline can also elicit that type of emotional and psychological response from people reading it. So when I saw Business Made Human, that word human alone intertwined into that was powerful.
Yeah, and you see how thank you for that. First of all, that was a process in itself of many iterations and a lot of collaboration trying to figure out a tagline that would make sense for me and my personal brand and the work that I do. I've had probably 10 different taglines in the course of a year. And sometimes that's what you have to do. It's kind of like putting on a different piece of clothing, or trying to find just the right one that really speaks to you and feel like it really fits. So, but that tagline isn't trying to do too much. It isn't trying to explain who I am or where I went to school or what I do even in this business, because there's a time and a place for that, right? But so for you have to understand like what the real purpose of a tagline is. So for therapists to think about that and think about their own, or even just play around with some new ideas, and don't be married to the ideas or what's currently on your website just because it's always been up there.
Yeah, and here this goes into along the line of where a lot of clinicians struggle, the technology piece, the website copy, the homepage, the service page, and your talk on Kauai will have a lot to do with even the technical parts about where buttons should be placed, what type of copy, what type of words. Can you speak more to that, the importance of that?
Yeah. So getting the words right is one kind of pillar of this whole game. The other part is getting more people to your website and then making sure they know what to do next, right? So making sure they know what to do next might be as simple as making sure that you have a unified call to action for your whole website. You just talked about this recently with a landing page you created it through, Lead Pages, which is an amazing software that helps you simplify a page, right? Basically showing people, here's my message. It's very clear. It's very simple. Here's what to do next. Here's a bit more of that message. Here's that same button that you just saw, right? So there's iterations of of that same button, and over being exposed to that, the unconscious is more likely to take action when it's just gotten more familiar with that button. And I know that seems like a bit of a stretch, or it's like, well, why should we be thinking about people getting familiar with the button? They're statistically more likely to click on it when they've seen it twice or 3 times or whatever. So I think simplicity is key. And I see a lot of therapists just trying to do too much with their website. And I think you lose people very easily.
Absolutely.
I also see therapists overcomplicating their digital marketing strategy. And again, I'm talking about this kind of last in the sequence, because I think too many therapists go at it and try to address it first, which again is not necessarily going to get you any clients.
Right.
For digital marketing, I really break things up into helping therapists develop an extremely simple plan. There's 2 sides of it. One side is lead generation. So doing things to get yourself in front of people looking for a therapist right now, wanting to start and end their search right now. Right. So that's one side. The other side is brand recognition and brand awareness, doing things that are just getting you out in front of more people or staying present in the minds of people who already know about you. Just knowing the difference between those 2 principles is a great start for a lot of therapists. And for a lot of therapists, it's more than enough knowledge to develop, a solid plan, and at least to know why you're doing what you're doing.
Again, folks, I am talking to John Clarke, and he will be on Kauai to be talking all about this in detail. And here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to schedule a time to chat with him there for his consults. I want you to get to know him, visit his website to know more about his thing. Now, I do want to point to a course that you're doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think this is this is by far, to me, developing your brand. I can't even stress enough how powerful and how much of a revenue it's going to bring you. And you are doing a course that I think people needs to start first.
Right. Exactly.
I really do. That's just my thing. So can you speak to that, John?
Yeah. So again, working with hundreds of therapists over the past few years, both individually as their coach and then also with my team at doing the digital marketing for therapists, we realize that therapists struggle to describe what they do. And so for a lot of them, we deliver all this traffic to your front doorstep, but your message sucks. So nothing happens next. And then you get really frustrated. So I started to develop my own copywriting framework over the past 6 or 9 months or so, and we're getting really close to launching it. So what the name came from having to tell therapists that, hey, first of all, you have a brand. For many of us, you are your brand, and you're doing a lot of things to express that brand, whether you know it or not. You need to take that brand seriously. You need to take care of it. You need to look at what you're doing to advance it or to diminish it. And so that's how I came up with the name Your Brand Matters. So the framework is called Your Brand Matters, and it's going to be a course, and it's actually a software as well. So I've worked with my team to develop a copywriting tool. It's an actual software where you get prompted. I walk you through how to write this section of your website, and then you write it. And then I walk you through the next section, and what you get is it spits out, here's your homepage. It spits out, here's a service page, here's your bio page, right? And if you're a group practice owner, you can sit down with this software and actually write their bios with them, breaking it down section by section and just filling in those sections. And it's very, very simple, but very, very powerful.
Yeah, damn. That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, John, you are crushing it, and I'm so excited that you're speaking on Kauai.
I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. And I just love hanging out with therapists.
I know
so much of what we do is digital, and even you and I, it's like I feel like I've known you for a while.
Oh, I can't wait. Out of curiosity, what are you gonna be drinking on Kauai?
Probably just beer. I'm just a beer guy. Even in the morning,
even
after the night. No, I don't know.
During consultation, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you like foo drinks, with the umbrella in it, and
I'll follow your lead on that. I mean,
may
I'll
not
do
be as
whatever the
strong.
locals do, but
We'll go with that. We'll go with
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah. But I can't wait. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with therapists there. And yeah, if I can help you while I'm there, we can really dig into your copywriting. It can help you develop
yeah.
your tagline, improve your copy there on the spot. I'd love to do it. It's going to be a good time to both learn a lot of stuff, but then
Yeah.
also start implementing pretty much right away.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm going to actually have, for those of you guys are watching and want to do consultation 101 or maybe in a group consultation, I don't know. There is actually a space for you to do that. It's overlooking the ocean. It's right there. There's a table, there's a couch. So take advantage right now of calling John either way before and scheduling that time, because I can tell you now he's going to be busy on Kauai, and then hopefully he's busy on the beach hanging out. But
Yeah, both.
yeah, but go visit his website. I really want you to kind of check out what he's doing and then attend his workshop. It's going to be incredibly informational for you and beneficial for your business. John, thank you so much for doing this, man.
Thanks, man. It's been fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah. So this is Ernesto signing off. Aloha.